Hello Piedmont and Merry Christmas. We're going to have 2 weeks off. We're going to miss 5 practices. I just wanted to encourage everyone to remember to get your workouts in. I'm not changing the workouts yet. I use the same workout video that I sent. You've got 2 more weeks. I'd like to continue with that. We'll probably go 1 more week and then I'll update the workout video after about the first week of returning to practice. I wanted to talk about something else. At practice yesterday, Kyle called everyone together and wanted to talk about the way that we are practicing, as in the way that we're approaching practicing. So I was going to send out an email, but I figured I may get a lot more of you youngsters to watch this instead of reading it through a whole email. So anyway, I'm hoping that I can get everybody to kind of listen and maybe get the point of what we're trying to get across. First off, let's talk about the right approach to practicing. Let's just define practice to begin with. Practice is everything that you do to make yourself better as a player. The time that you spend at Sportsplex, of course, is practice. That's the easy one. But also the time that you spend at the gym or at home working out. That's practice. The time that you spend watching colleges play on the television or professional games that you watch, that's practice. The time that you spend preparing food or eating the proper foods, that's practice. All of that goes into making you a better player. Things that you can do as far as your approach to practice to improve upon what you're doing now. Get to practice early. Don't skip your rotator cuff exercises. I was pretty encouraged last week on seeing how many people were bringing their bands, were hooking up before practice, and were working their rotator cuff exercises as part of warming their shoulders up. This past week, I saw very little of it Tuesday. I saw even less of it Thursday. Please don't start skipping that. That's very important that you're doing those exercises, that you're getting your shoulder properly warmed up. You're also strengthening your shoulder. That's going to be very important. You're going to be able to both protect your shoulder and hit the ball harder. Make sure that you're wearing your sweats, that you're not coming in with cold muscles. The chance of spraining or tearing a muscle increase whenever they're cold. So make sure you're wearing those sweats until you're good and warm before you take them off. Also, make sure that you're taking time to work on your weaknesses. When you get to practice early, you don't have to spend it peppering and playing. Yes, I know that's fun, but let's say you're struggling with your serve. Go to one of the far courts on the outside. Work on your serve. Of course, warm up first. Or let's say you're a setter. You want to put extra reps in. There's always court number 1 over there that's set up where setters can get extra work in. Your swing block, if you're not an expert at it yet, work on your swing block. There are lots of things that you can do instead of just starting to pepper and play in queen of the court. Let's talk about intensity next. Don't just drift through your warm-ups or your drills. You got to make sure that you're putting effort into it. You want to run every drill hard. You're going to play the way that you practice. So if you're drifting through things at practice, you're not going to be able to just instantly turn up the intensity whenever it's tournament time. It's time to play. Your speed is not going to be the same. Your reflexes are not going to be the same. If you're not practicing hard, you're not going to play hard, whether you think you are or you're not. Focus. By focus, I mean, when you're at practice, look for feedback. Feedback is any information that can tell you what you're doing right or what you're doing wrong. Let's say, for example, you're serving, and you see that you've got a lot of topspin on your serve. That's feedback. We had the High Point coach gave a very good lesson this past week on Tuesday on serving and on what we need to be doing serving. You've got to make sure that your forearm is like a paddle, he said, where you're not hinging at the wrist. You're not, going left to right or up or down. It's like a paddle going straight forward. That's going to help to eliminate spin. So if you see that the ball is spinning, if it's got top spin on it, you're rolling over the top of the ball, aren't you? So make an adjustment to that. If your ball's spinning to the side, then your wrist is pivoting. Make an adjustment. Firm your wrist up. Those are ways that you can focus more at practice. Your approach. Let's say that you're late. You need to speed up your approach. If you're blocking, look for where's the ball going off of my hands. Is the ball going straight up? If so, are you pressing? Probably not. If it's hitting your hands and going out of bounds to the side, let's say you're the right side blocker, it's hitting your hand going off to the side, you need to press in more with your right hand. Same thing for the outside. Press in more with your left hand. Look for things like that. Look for that type of feedback that's going to allow you to see what you're doing and make adjustments. All right, dedication. That's another. It's another piece that you can really work on to separate yourself from other players. Think about this for a second. Those of you who've played before and gone to a big tournament. When you go to, let's say, a tournament like Louisville or Big South or Indianapolis, there are over 100 courts set up. There's a morning wave and there's an afternoon wave. You've got at least 4 teams in each wave. So that's 8 teams on each court. 100 courts, that's 800 teams at least. 10 people on a team, 8,000 players. A lot of these tournaments have well over 100 courts, so you're looking at probably 10,000 players or more. So there are probably 2,000 that play your specific position at one of these big tournaments. How are you going to separate yourself from those people? Everybody goes to practice. If you're just going to practice, you're not doing anything more than those other 2,000 people that play your same position. So if you want to separate yourself, you need to do more than they're doing. So you need to be doing your workouts at home. You need to make sure that you're eating right. You need to focus on what you're doing, working on your weaknesses. You can do stuff at home. Let's say if you're not an expert at swing blocking yet. You don't have to just do that at practice. You can do that at home in your driveway or beside the garage door or whatever the case may be. Those are just little examples of things you can do. You can work on your footwork at home. If you feel like you're tightening up in your calves or hamstrings, you can do extra stretching. You don't have to just do those things at practice. Another thing that we need to talk about, and I think this is something that Kyle was really trying to allude to, is you need to get out of your comfort zone. I understand, for example, last Tuesday when the High Point coach was teaching serving, he goes through this great explanation, this great advice on what to do and how to do it. And then we break up and start serving, and almost no one is doing what he said to do. And then on Thursday, when we're serving once again, almost no one is doing what he said to do. Now, I can appreciate that, okay, this is what I know, this is the muscle memory I have, this is what feels right. Or this works for me. I'm getting the ball in the court. That's the mentality that you need to let go of. It's going to be uncomfortable when you do something new, but you need to embrace it. This is a D1 college coach telling you what they do at that level. This is a great opportunity, but you need to go ahead and start trying to do it his way now, because that's going to be very important in the progress that you make as a player. If you don't change what you're doing, you're not going to improve. So really try to focus on what you're being told, and even if it doesn't feel right, jump into it. Trust that it works. We've got college coaches coming in here. We've got coaches that were players themselves at a higher level. Kyle gets his workouts from these high-level clubs and or colleges. These drills work. You've just got to embrace them. You've got to let go of your comfort zone. You've got to get outside of that, and you've got to put in the work that you need to in order to make yourself a better player. I hope all of this is coming across as very positive, very encouraging, because that's exactly what we want. This is nothing negative at all. I just want to try to give you this idea of the right approach to practice. You can't just show up and practice and expect that you're going to get better. Again, those 10,000 other players that you might see at another tournament, all of them are going to practice. So you've got to do more than that. You've got to practice with intensity, with focus. You've got to dedicate more time to improving your weaknesses, to getting stronger, to getting faster, to getting improved footwork. So there you have it. That's really the message I wanted to kind of get across. I hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas and a great New Year, and I look forward to seeing everybody on January the 3rd.